Good morning, everybody. It's 48 degrees here in Florida. Got the heater going with my little fan blowing the warm air around. This is my shop. I'm Randy Wittes, and that's my Chevelle. So, what we're getting ready to do next is build the sheet metal from here over, but it's going to be in 2 or 3 pieces. I have not decided yet exactly how I'm doing it. I'm either going to do one little piece to here, and then another piece on top of that, and then a separate piece on top of that. I'm going to run these little doodads. You can see them right there. Along here, at least. So, I need to sit down and do some heavy thinking. See exactly how I'm gonna lay this out. So I gotta get busy. Ready, set, go. Yeah. No. Whoopsie. Gonna hurt. All right, everybody, so we made a little bit of progress. I'm prepping some sheet metal. Tried to cut me a straight line here so I can put my new template that I'm making up on that sheet metal and cut the piece out. So the thing that I have to think about, the dilemma that I have is this right here. This regulator has to come out, but it has to go back in. Because I put such large wheel tubs in there, the window won't go down but that far at this time. We got to figure something out with that. Window's got to go down, even though I rarely rolled it down ever. But you know, when you can't have it, you want it. So I said these are all going to be welded in. Well, this can. That's not a problem. This may not be able to be welded in because I have to take that off to put this regulator back in. More stuff to think about. But the good thing is I can make this piece. I can make it fit, put it in with Clecos, and let it sit there until I figure that out. Okay, so we're back. It's 43 degrees here in Florida. I just wanted to try something out, which was kind of interesting because I get tired of trying to cut cardboard and paper with these scissors. It doesn't seem to work out all that well. I can't get a good straight line, so I tried these. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. And that works great. So that's what I'm going to be using to cut paper with from now on. See you in a minute. Okay, everybody, I'm having camera issues. Surprise! So I made my template and put it up here, did some tracing, and we're gonna do some cutting. So you'll get to watch till my battery dies or whatever, the phone lock or the camera locks up, or you know, who knows. Probably doesn't like this weather. It's a little chilly. Must have doled it out cutting that paper or something. There she be. Now I gotta do a bend on it and make it fit. Alrighty, so let's try to do some bending on this. Not rolling it, just bend it. Maybe. Alright, well, that's all I'm gonna do. Got a bend in it. See you in a minute. Okay, so I basically got my bent, you know, with using the rolling machine as kind of a die and just using the tubes. I got the shape that I was looking for. Not so much the roll, I didn't roll it in the beginning, but that kind of just messed me up. So I'm fitting this now. What you can see is I've got my roll, my arch, my whatever you want to call it, my bend, but I'm not fitting flush right here. So what I've been doing, you can see down in here, I got my marker, get my glove off, take my marker and just run the marker along the edge. What that does for me is give me roughly 1/8 of an inch to trim with my grinder, and I'll go 1/8 of an inch at a time. Don't have any gloves on. So 1/8 of an inch at a time, or sometimes less. Just depends. It's fun just doing this camera stuff by yourself, trying to fix stuff by yourself. So essentially, I'm still, you know, 1/16 of an inch over here. So I'll mark it again. And this, it's good up here. So just trying to get the bottom over. And this really isn't that critical. It's just where I want it. I've got to shave this too. So I just kind of want them smooth. So I'm gonna mark that again, shave it again, fit it again. I shaved it again, clamped it, clecoed it, and I got a couple more clecos to drill. So I'll let you see that for a moment. And should be right there, hopefully. Bitch. Broke the bit. Just broke a bit a minute ago. Gotta fight through that. So, see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm trying to decide about this panel here that I'm putting in up through here. Made me a little test panel, kind of, sort of, because I was debating if I wanted to bend a flange on the back side to, you know, do that, and it would raise it up a little bit. But that's a lot of work. It's an awful long panel to do that bead on both sides and run it all the way up and bend it. So that's why I did that panel with no little flange. Also, when I do this flange, it's hard to get these pressed into it without distorting everything really bad. So, throw that over there. This little panel's got a little buckle in it, kind of oil canning. It's being held down right now, just fine. What happens is it distorts around this edge, and I have to hammer and dolly it and make it flat. Not a big deal. What I do, I also come back and put these on a flat surface, and then hit them on the top with a rubber hammer or a brass hammer, well, rubber hammer, and kind of flatten them out a little bit, kind of put the metal back, because, you know, this took a lot of metal out, so it's putting a lot of tension on it. So anyway, whatever. Didn't work, but that's what I do. So, debating, I mean, this looks nice. It's nice and flat for the moment. This, obviously, I don't have any little, whatever these are. Forgot. Clecos, that's it. I don't have any clecos drilled in here to hold that down. Doesn't matter, it's held in place anyway. You get the idea what it looks like. And so, got some thinking to do. Hey everybody, so did some thinking. Even got the wife's opinion. She said to do it like that, the flat panel. So guess what we're gonna do? The other panel. So, you know, whenever you really think you want something, or you're not sure you want something, but you kind of think you want something, you know what I'm saying? Ask somebody else, and then you'll figure out what you really want. So apparently I really wanted these. So I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try it. What I was concerned about, because when I press the dimple in, it makes a little divot around here, like that. If you can see it with the reflection here. So I was able to sand it out with 80 grit and then flatten it back out on the edge of this, and then realize that I put a mark in that. So that's something I need to consider when I'm flattening things back out, because if I make a mark in that, that's kind of game over in a sense, because there's a mark there and it's pretty deep. But anyway, we're gonna make this one, and I got everything. I'm setting up the measurements. I got to add 3/8 of an inch to each side to be able to bend this flange. I got to have that much at least to be able to bend it over on the bead roller over there. So we're going to get on that and see you in a bit. Apparently these are a little sharp. Oh well. That's what gloves are for. I measure 3/8 of an inch, and I can never see these right through here. Count them, you know, all that movement of this thing the way it's supposed to. And anyway, I always have to put a little dot so I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, my eyes can't see it for some reason. Man, that line is just not straight at all. I don't know if you can see it, because I can barely see it, but it's supposed to be on the outside of that mark. I'm not there. Got off there. Well, it may have worn off from the scissors, come to think of it. It's done that before, but that was a boo-boo. Anyway, I don't have a shear. That's the next tool. Would have come in handy right now. But those aren't cheap. So I'm gonna scribe that with this. I've already done it over here. I'm gonna measure in between, make sure I have 6 7/8, and go from there. I'm using the scribe instead of the pen. The scribe will make a smaller line, so it makes a smaller target, makes you more accurate, hopefully. You know, instead of like that. So, see you in a minute. Okay. Trying to measure. I hate magnets on everything. Trying to measure from here to here, and that says, well, that says 6 7/8. A minute ago, I don't know what I was doing wrong. And that's 1/16 off, doing it that way. So what I decided to do was take and use the 1 inch line That way I can put it right on that line, you know, like I said, smaller target. And that comes out to a 32nd-ish. No, I was over. Try it there. Yeah, 32nd-ish. But, you know, we've got a little playroom, I'm sure, because of the bend. And, you know, my driving is going to be like that. So, let's take it over to the rolling machine and start rolling on that bend, that line there to get a bend. See you in a minute. Okay, I am going to first use this tipping die, which is the polyurethane one, and I forgot what it's actually called. It's a tipping die, but it's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm using that one first to get it started a little bit. And then I'm going to go over to the other one, which is this one. And this one will get it started. Then I go to the other one, and then I'll eventually get it to where it'll fold like that. It's hard to start it on the other one, so we'll see what happens here. And I'm backed up against a corner, it seems like. And I can't hardly see that little line I put on there. And right now is when I wish I had a slower gear. Here, slow this thing down, because the thing will get out of control a little bit on me. Table. For some reason, I'm getting a big old arch out of it. I don't know why. Never done one this long. So, and see, it's trying to straighten it, it's kinking. Everything I've done is, you know, a foot. Okay, well, I'm totally disgusted right at the moment. And what would have saved me is a 4-foot long bending brake, again, that I don't have. So I'm going to attempt to fold this flange over and try to salvage this. So we'll see in a minute. It may be scrap. You know, I expected some wobbles. Actually, from here to here is not bad, but then it goes beep. And I didn't even bend it over all the way. It's just, it may have flattened out. Not a big deal. That was where the buckle was. I'm trying to flatten it out. I might be able to straighten that if I want to bead on that, but keep in mind, I have to do this one and another one. And this, so far, has been a real pain in the ass. So, much as I would like to make what I was saying, because I don't have the right tool, which is a bending brake, to make me a nice straight line, it's just not going to be good. I don't like it. It's going to be ugly. So I'm either scrapping this whole idea and just going the other way, which was the simple way, and the wife told me, you know, or I'm going to have to figure out something else. Try to bend that. See you in a bit. Hey everybody. So how we screwed this piece of sheet metal up right here. Well, we're going to try something a little different, and other than buying a metal brake, spending hundreds and thousands of dollars, I smoothed off the edge of my table and straightened it with my level. So we're going to try how the old timers did it when they didn't have all that fancy equipment like I don't have either. And we're going to clamp this bad boy down. You know, since I already messed this one up, what's the difference if I mess up this side? And we're going to see what happens. So just hang tight while I clamp her down. Okay, I'm going to hit it a little bit to kind of see how it goes, and then shut the camera off and come back to you. But get the idea. It's going to take a little bit. See you in a minute. Okay. So, and if you haven't figured out why I use the long ones in the middle, this is why. So I can swing them bad boys out of the way. But this is pretty much it. And when you hit something, you hit it at kind of a glancing blow so you don't nick it. And put little marks in it. So that's pretty much it. It's about as flat as it gets. So let's see what it looks like at this stage. We are far from done. This part takes a lot of manual labor. Look at that one. Oh, cool. There was a piece of welding slag underneath here. And look what that did. Can you see? A little dimple. Important to keep the top clean. Anyway, scrap, so we're not going to worry about it, but lesson learned for the next piece. So now clamp it back down. Do more of the same. See what happens. Once I get this folded over to a point, I'm going to roll it through the bead roller in the flattening dies that will then just like clamp it. So, see you in a minute. Okay, it's quite a little process. And now you can't just hit it. You know, you gotta really make a glancing blow. Otherwise, you're going to really distort the edge of it here. I was going to pull this out to here, let's say. Then I thought, well, as I'm hitting on that, I'm going to bend it over that edge. So that wasn't a good idea. So lucky I caught myself. Now, see where I smashed it right there? That's because I've run out of room back here. So I need to move. This isn't going to be good, I know it. I think that's about as far as I can go with that. I'm going to try the smashing dies on the bead roller. See you in a minute. Okay, so here we go. Over to the bead roller and try the smashing dies. See what this does. So far, I mean, you know, nice and straight, looks good. Looks good, not distorted-ish. Gotta keep you out of the way. Over here. Alright, oh. There. Stay. Alright. See what happens. This is what I want to show you right now. Okay. If you can see it, it's just kind of rounded looking. But if you see here, flat and getting sharp. Okay? Sharpening that little corner out. Cool. Mistake. I let it feed in too far. That did that. Okay. Very aggravating. So that little mishap that I just did right there caused that, a little wobble there, a little mark there. Well, good thing it's a test piece. Look at the backside. Look at that. Look how flat that bad boy is right there. I mean, you know, can't ask for any more than that. Huh. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run it through and flatten this out, just so I can play with this piece as far as bending it and stuff, which shouldn't be a problem. But I'm liking that right there. I mean, just straight as I'm gonna get it. Now, if it was a bending brake, I would just have less time in it. Less time and energy, because beating that with a hammer to get it over. And I'm sure there's another way it could be done more efficiently, but haven't figured that out yet. So see you in a minute. Okay, so I finished flattening that side out. Something I've noticed, this side was relatively flat, but because that got all arched and buckled and stretched, it stayed that way. So, oopsie. Oopsie. Okay, so next question really doesn't matter. I don't know why I care at the moment, but I want to measure it. Been nice if I could have saved this piece of metal, but yeah, look at that. 6 7/8, 30 seconds over, whatever. Huh. There anyway. There's on. There's not so much, but not terribly over. Huh. Huh. Anyhow, a lot of this damage, little crease and stuff, but we can do it. We can do the flange. If I want to, you know, bead on it a lot. And what I wanted to see is what this was going to do inside. Kinda, sorta. I mean, you know, we just like to mock things. See what happens. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, I gotta take that one out up there. Just yank it out. Who cares? Anyway. Come on. Come on. There. Okay. So, that's the idea. Only it's going to have holes in it. Like so. Like that. Get that idea. But you see this here. Gives it a little more 3D-ish, I guess. Does not expose me to a sharp piece of metal right here. Nice rounded edge all the way up. I think that'll work. Not so much this piece, or will it? Will it? Because I got a lot up there. So if I cut, where's my bad spot? Right there. Nope. I could grind that off, weld that edge up. Where's my crease? Crease is up here, the worst. Might be able to save this. Huh. Well, we'll see. Although that edge just really isn't straight. But I could straighten it. Could straighten out the wobble there. Could straighten it out. Weld up the edge, grind the edge. Do more work. I mean, probably that just as much work in that as I got in that. That sure does look nice though. Nice and straight. And that will get cut off up there where I put the little divot in it up there. And so anyhow, we shall see. So I'm back. That piece of metal I'm not saving. I am using it for experimental purposes. So we're going to make new ones. And what I've been trying to figure out here is my little dimple. What happens when I have this flange on the back is, and I need this to sit right there so it will line up correctly and come out where I need it to. So what happens is it pinches this flange. So I tried to cut it down or just grind it down and see what happens. But when I put the little dimple in there, it comes out crooked. I think you can see that. So even grinding it down, still came out crooked. This one, I tried, and I wasn't realize what I was doing, but I put this on the back side of it, and it came out crooked the other way. And then I finally realized that, hey, I didn't need this whole flange. I was tripling up my sheet metal. So then when I did this one, I only laid it, instead of laying it this way, you see, I laid it this way. So that made my little dimple come out straight. You can see it. It's not as deep as these. Now the difference being is the screw doesn't sit all the way down in there where it does in this. And I can't, well, I could show you, but it really doesn't matter because it fits down into that one. And you ask, well, why did that one go in? Well, because I moved it over a little bit so it was able to crush it. And it's still a little crooked, but really not too bad. But I can't have it over that far. And I'll show you the difference. See, I moved it over that far. These are right on the edge, and that's where I need it. So I can't do that. What I can do on the other side is when I make my flange, instead of a 3/8 flange, I'll make it a 1/4 inch flange, which will be fun to bend over, but hey, we like challenges. So yeah, that's roughly a 1/4 inch. I might just do the 3/8 flange, and once I get it at a 90, you know, mark it prior to bending it, get it at a 90 and just cut it off somehow. Haven't gotten there yet, so this is the plan, making a whole new piece. And moving on with it. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm in the process. I got my 2 pieces of sheet metal cut out, and I figured out a little bit different way to do it. Use this 48-ounce dead blow rubber hammer. That won't mar up my sheet metal. It's got a bigger face on it, and it's a lot quieter. Still kind of doing a glancing blow because it's just a habit. But as you, like I said, it's a lot quieter. And you can, I don't know if you can see my little scribe. Probably can't, because I can see it. But I've only gone up and down this maybe twice. So this is working out pretty well. Like I said, I'll come back with my little body hammer and to finish things up. What that does is give me a little sharper edge. But you see what happened here? This one moved. I was afraid of it moving. When I start hitting down, it pull it. This one's on, but not a lot we can do about that at the moment. So anyway, see you in a bit. Hey, I'm back again to go over what I just did. I bent this one over, as you saw. Once I got it bent over, I trimmed it a little bit with hand shears, and I had to flatten it out because I couldn't do this one without flattening out this side, because it wanted to hold it up at an angle, so I wouldn't be able to clamp it down, and it would have bent it, blah, 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 blah. So here we go. We're gonna do some more hammering and beating. See you in a bit. Okay, well, after the hammering and the beating and putting it through the roller and flattening things out and making it look good, we've got a little development. And that development is, it has stretched out. I've been doing a little shrinking on it. I'm gonna do some more. I think what I've done is rolling it. You can see how it's kind of shiny, and what happened is, well, and you see the stretchy marks, but made the metal shiny, and what happens is that's probably stretched it out, causing my little buckle. That's my theory. So we're gonna try some shrinking. Done some already. It has improved it, it seems like, somewhat. So we're gonna do some more. Be right back. Okay, well, I've already done some shrinking, as you saw, but I like this one. It has smaller teeth, doesn't do quite as much damage. So we're gonna see what happens. I've not figured out this foot pedal part yet, because it's so high up it really cramps on your leg, but we're working on it. So let's see. Okay, it's coming around. It's coming around. Now let's switch buttocks, because that one's killing me. So happy when a plan comes together. All right. Look, nice and flat. Now, okay, we fixed it. We have some other things to fix, like teeth marks, which I was afraid of. Was it worth rolling that flange on the bead? Yes. Was it worth rolling it so hard? Probably not. Probably could have got away with not quite so hard, but I like the finish, which, you know, I'm gonna go over the DA anyway. But look at that. Nice. A little bit. I don't know. Probably could stretch it a little bit, but you know, hey, or shrink it, I mean. I'm kind of good with that. So, on to more things. I'm going to get this panel fitted because it's too long in there. Once I get it fitted, then I'll worry about doing me some dimples. And the dimple that I decided, well, it's going to decide, well, that's about a 1/4 inch there, so depends on where the dimple fits. And maybe right there, right on that edge. So something we're gonna have to play with a little bit. But it was this one, and I had to use the edge of this to put under the edge of the dimple to make the same thickness here, and that's the dimple we got, other than wasn't quite as high as the rest. So see you in a bit. Alrighty, so we've got it all pretty and shiny. I had to come back and do some grinding to get the marks out, and there's still just a few, but it's also from the grinder. Now, when you're grinding, don't tip it up like that and go, oh, I can get that out real easy. What that's going to do when you go over it with your DA, that's going to leave a dimple, and it's going to look bad. So always keep this grinder good and flat, as flat as possible. Also spin off the edge. This rotates this way. Spin off the edge with it. So that would be spinning like so. If you spin the other way, you're going to probably end up gouging this edge and messing it up. So learn from my mistakes. I didn't do it this time because I've done it for a while and I've learned. I use that same logic when I buff a car. I always spin off an edge, off a door edge, or off a curve, you know, door line, whatever. Same premise, just always spin off, not against. So we're going to now get back, try to fit this in that car over there, and see what we can get done. See you in a minute. Okay, boys and girls, so that fits. I got this side to fit nicely, this side didn't want to fit so nice. When I would push it down, that would go that way. Fought it a little bit. One of the mistakes I made was I anchored it here first. Shouldn't have done that. Probably should have anchored here, messed with this, and because instead of kicking that way, when I pulled this one out, it kicked the bottom this way, which is okay. I mean, you know, we were talking 1/8 of an inch just to make it fit. So, not a big deal. Okay. Now, this is over just a little bit farther than I planned. Does it matter? Absolutely not. And I could fix that if I wanted to. So anyway, there it is for the moment. Moving on to dimples. Next step on the agenda here, I got it fitting the way I like it. Tried not to drill too many holes in it because I'm gonna have to weld a couple up, like that one, and probably all of these. So I'm going to figure out my spacing for my little dimples, and probably about that much. I'm hoping, I'm thinking, and I don't know what that space is. Looks to be 5 inches. So I'm gonna look at this, figured some stuff out, start laying out my little dots. I'm going to, once I get it laid out the way I want, I will drill the 1/8 inch hole first, put it back up here, drill all my 1/8 inch holes. And the reason I'm doing that is once you do the dimple, the hole gets larger. So it's hard to center it with the 1/8 inch drill bit. I mean, it's possible, but it's a little harder. So if I just do it this way, I know they're going to be exactly where I want them. So when I put the little squishy nut, as I call it, in there behind it, so then I can use screws, it won't be as hard. So see you in a minute. Okay, all my holes are drilled, all my holes are welded, and next thing to do is make some dimples. So let's get that going. This is going to be a fun little process right here. You always make sure that you're putting the dimples the right way. We want that to go up, so it pushes up this way. And yes, I've made that mistake. Set you on the ladder so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now remember, we have to shim this. And I'm going to flip it over this way to make it easier to see what I'm doing. Now I got to remember to flip this over. Put that here through the hole. And then put this on. So we want that to be equal. See how far in that one goes. I don't know if you can even see, to be honest with you. Yeah, you can see now. So I want this to be equal in this way as this is this way, as close as possible. Oh no, something has moved. How the hell? Damn it. Okay, well, I gotta fix that. Okay, I don't care about this side, but I got that side fixed. Had to peck it, make it a little high, and grind her down, so anyhow, try that again. Put that in the hole. Put this on top. I'm not sure what happened, but it happened. Now in the hole, lined up. Pushing upwards. It's going to push that way. Okay. Well, no, it's not perfect. I'm gonna have to probably rebend this area here a little bit from a little distortion, but that's okay. So let's go fit this bad boy and see what it looks like. All right, making progress. I see some of my holes are just wonderful. Some are off a little. So that'll be interesting. But I like it. Okay, so that's one side. That's gonna be the end of this video. Now I gotta do that side. See you on the next video.